starting lineup. First time this year that has been the case. He practiced yesterday just fine, went through shoot around today just fine. So we don't know if he is available or how much he might play, but we do anticipate seeing him here tonight. So for the first time this season, Syracuse has a different starting five, and they have two different starters who are out. Maliq Brown, it was announced earlier tonight, is sidelined with a foot injury. So a whole lot of new faces out there to start things for Syracuse.
Yeah, that's huge news, though. Judah Mintz, obviously, his 19 points per game, not in the starting lineup.
And so J.J. Starling brings it up. Claudell Copeland with the basketball. He gets the start. And also Maliq Brown. The two of them have been devastating coming off the bench. Now in a starter's role, first 3 points by Chris Bell, the sophomore from Concord, California.
And Doug, that's huge. Him getting his confidence going early, that's a breakdown for Boston College. He's the one guy, you can't give him that much airspace. That's a great start for Chris Bell and Syracuse.
So now without McLeod, does post up down low. He's now 0 for 2 from the floor. The defensive assignment on that possession went to Maliq Brown. And here is Brown at the other end. Copeland keeps the pivot foot back out to Taylor. Well, the two guys who have been struggling shooting the basketball lately have knocked down their first threes here tonight. Meanwhile, for BC, Jaden Zachary is the man that makes them go from the point. Harris, we've already talked about. QP, number 12 in gray, Quentin Post, is a tremendous player. The stats he's putting up again this year, Malcolm, are as good or better than anybody in the ACC.
They are, but I think right now Boston College issues handling the ball against Syracuse. Syracuse is very active in the passing lanes, and then when they're on the ball, they're just trying to poke the ball away. I think the key is how they defend Quentin Post. I think they need, if you're Boston College, let him get a couple touches in the paint, play through him, see if Syracuse doubles, and then go from there.
There is that combo. Copeland with the no-look pass and the throwdown by Brown.
Well, if you're Red Autry, you cannot ask for a better start. 8-0, and it's been the quality of looks and their defense. Right now, they're just getting high percentage shots.
Claudell Harris Jr. no. Fight for the rebound comes to Taylor. Taylor walks into another three, a little strong that time. Boston College with Jaden Zachary, the junior from Salem, Wisconsin at the point. And the offense always runs through number 12. Post is kind of that modern big for BC. Off the deflection, Harris finds Zachary.
Everything perimeter jumpers for Boston College early.
Well, no. Well, again, Judah Mintz not starting tonight. We don't know why, and we don't know if he will play tonight, but in uniform. And so that certainly changes the rotations around for Red Autry. First 2 points scored for BC. Devin McGlockton's been playing so well lately.
And that's where Boston College needs to attack. We talked about it. Maliq Brown out, Judah Mintz out. Right now to start this game off. If you're Boston College, don't settle for jumpers. On the other end, Syracuse, keep doing what you're doing and getting good ball movement.
Bell into the lane. 5 on the shot clock. Starling puts it up. Zachary is denied by Brown. They kept it in bounds, and here comes the orange the other way. Another block, this time by BC.
That's two defensive plays on both ends. First of the block, and then Boston College returns the favor.
Post lost it. Taylor, another three.
Fast-paced, and that's something, speaking with the Boston College coaching staff, they need to do a good job in transition defense. Mainly, don't turn the ball over, but try to keep Syracuse out of the transition game. On the other end, they got to try to attack the paint.
5 on the shot clock. Aligbe has it knocked away. And that'll take us to our first media timeout.
Well, it's been all Syracuse early on, Doug. Copeland with the beautiful find. Uncontested dunk. Syracuse rolling early.
Syracuse leads the ACC this year in both blocks per game and steals per game, and we have seen that disruption in the early going here tonight.
Doug, it's been impressive to start this game off. Boston College having issues just dribbling the ball. Right here, you see the block. They're very active with their hands in the passing lanes. They're just trying to get deflections, and you're right, they're being very disruptive to the flow of Boston College's offense.
And Claudell Copeland is as disruptive as anybody coming off the bench the first 14 games of the year, starting tonight. And I asked Coach Autry after practice yesterday, do you guys track deflections? And I was thinking about deflection rate, deflection percentage, because in fairly limited minutes off the bench, he especially has been disruptive. And I thought Coach Autry gave an interesting answer. He said, no, unlike Coach Pitino and some of the others, we don't track deflections. He's afraid that it would turn into a competition between his players to lead the team in deflections, and they would not be as good defensively in terms of being sound in their role.
Hey, look, they're first in the ACC in those categories, so I wouldn't change a thing either in terms of tracking it. But just watching this game, it's showing up, and the pressure that they're putting on Boston College early on.
Taylor up against the timer, doesn't get the roll. Starling was up above the rim and thought better of trying to tip it in. Harris, great move, right to the bucket for his first two.
And that's a beautiful screen off by Quentin Post right there. Again, he saw that Claudell Harris had an angle, and he just basically set a little rub screen, made it look like he was posting. Heads up play by Quentin Post to clear the lane for Claudell Harris.
And Harris is always locked and loaded, coming off a 26-point performance Saturday at Georgia Tech. Bell, travel, drag the pivot foot. BC gets the ball back down by 4. And there's the first-year head coach of the Orange, the former point guard here at Syracuse some 3 decades ago. Class of 94, 51-year-old native of Harlem. And, at 10-4, they haven't suffered any, quote, bad losses this year. The games they have lost, they were supposed to have lost. Where do you think Syracuse is right now in the first year of Coach Autry?
Well, it's so interesting, speaking with longtime SID Pete Moore, and I asked him the differences, obviously, between the Hall of Famer and Coach Autry. He said, look, Coach Autry's had a plan, and it shows up in their preparation. We've seen them in practice and shoot-arounds, and I think that plan really is a big reason why they've had this start and not had hiccups in any of those bad losses. So, again, phenomenal job by Red Autry, but also a big credit to his staff as well, too. Again, those guys do a great job getting these guys prepared and game ready.
0-0. Chaz Kelly III is into the game for the first time for BC. There's another deflection. It goes out of bounds. BC will keep with 7 to shoot.
And again, there's the deflection. They're very active. Boston College right now, what they're going to have to do when you're playing against a team this aggressive in the passing lanes, ball fake and get some backdoor cuts to try to loosen up this defense.
Kelly draws a double team. McGlockton, who has been on fire, misses from long range. Here comes Taylor. Syracuse has missed its last 6 from the floor. Scoreless for going on 4.5 minutes. Copeland perhaps got away with an extra step, kept the balance, and got the ball to go. And
something that may not show up on the stat sheet, the block out by Maliq Brown on the previous Boston College possession. He's given up a lot of size to Quentin Post, but he's doing a good job putting a body on him, making sure he doesn't get offensive rebounds.
Here comes Starling, driving on Kelly, who pokes it away. BC back the other way. Little mid-range pull-up off the window, no good for Donald Hand Jr. Copeland works his way down the lane, takes on the big man, misses on the fadeaway.
Physical game and early on.
Well, this is kind of the pace and tempo we anticipated between Boston College and Syracuse tonight. Taylor from the corner. He made his first. He has not made one since.
And right now, if I'm Boston College, I'm slowing it down and try to get Quentin Post established down low on the block. Again, playing fast plays into the favor of Syracuse. And try to get him a touch right there, but it's got to be a better pass. Swing that ball to the wing and let him post up.
Off the Brown, steal! The hammer at the other end by Bell.
Doug, I think he is the X factor for Syracuse. Him hitting his first shot in this game, I think, is huge. You see he's playing with a different energy.
Brown, the block. Here comes Bell again. Taylor joins him. Kelly with another steal. Quick hands for 0-0. Left alone in the corner. Good-looking stroke for Donald Hand Jr., the redshirt freshman from Virginia Beach.
And that is a beautiful transition offense off of great transition defense. And that's fine. When you're running opportunistic, you have the imbalance, you have the advantage. That's a nice dribble drive and kick to the corner for a wide-open three.
Well, something's got to give tonight. Syracuse unbeaten at home this year, 7-0. Boston College actually is 3-0 in true road games. First time they've done that since way back in 04-05.
And now Boston College clamping down defensively and forcing Syracuse into some tough contested jumpers.
Now BC's only 3 of 14 from the floor. Post has it poked away. Again, it's Brown. And again, it's Bell. A little windmill.
Well, if you're not familiar with Bell's game, his hops are on display right here. They have been active in the passing lane, and you are going to see a windmill. Syracuse continues to roll.
NBA Wednesday.
Syracuse 14, Boston College 7 here at the KMA Wireless Dome. And this was the anticipated backcourt matchup coming in. Claudell Harris averaging 15.5 a game for BC. And Judah Mintz over 19 per game, the third leading scorer in the ACC. But for unknown reasons, he was not in the starting lineup tonight. Whatever message has been sent from Coach Autry, he now comes into the game. After sitting the first 9:21, we'll see what Judah has in store for us tonight.
Yeah, obviously, though, right now, the story of this game, the defense of Syracuse early on, Doug, they have 6 points off of turnovers, and they've been very disruptive with their activity in the passing lanes and getting deflections.
Mason Madsen has come into the game, number 45, in gray for BC. Zachary around and out. And without Naheem McLeod, Munir Hema is playing for just the 4th time this year. Number 55 in white. Kyle Cuff has also come in, which was something Coach Autry alluded to yesterday after practice, Malcolm, that we likely will see more of Kyle Cuff, not just because of the injury to McLeod, just that he has earned more playing time.
Best way to get on the court, show coaches in practice and then get in the game and do your job. Certainly, though, with the injury, it's a much needed thing for Syracuse in terms of depth.
Benny Williams also into the game for the first time for Syracuse. Zachary has it taken away by Cuff. Here comes the Kansas transfer with numbers. Fouled, and he will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Well, Doug, the first thing when we talked with the BC coaching staff was keeping Syracuse out of transition. They said, how you do that? Take care of the ball. That's been problematic right here. Again, in transition off of a turnover. In Boston College early on in this game, 6 turnovers, which has led to 6 points off of turnovers early, and that's a number that we're going to track throughout this game.
There is Kyle Cuff. I'm guessing he's heard the stories about the old Big East days. His father played at St. John's, and this kind of has a old Big East flair feel tonight between Boston College and Syracuse. Kyle Cuff Jr. makes 1 out of 2. Armani Mighty with the basketball in for Post, who has now gone back to the scorer's table. He is still scoreless more than halfway through this first half. Off the bounce, hand. Good closeout by Hema. Fight for the loose ball. It went out of bounds and will stay with Boston College. Well, Earl Grant Jr. in his third year as head coach at BC, a former point guard at Division II Georgia College back in the late 90s. And he's got this program trending in the right direction.
I think the identity is a tough defense, and then obviously you have a star in Quentin Post.
BC out of bounds. Syracuse will have it.
But you're right. He definitely has done an outstanding job assembling this team and getting a program going in the right direction. And this is a huge game, Doug. We talked about it. They're coming off a win where they won at Georgia Tech. Both these teams looking to improve their resume.
Yeah, coming from behind is nothing new for Boston College this year. They had their third largest comeback in BC program history the last time out, down 16 early in the second half to beat Georgia Tech. And 4 of their 10 wins have come after being down by double digits. Mintz is fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line for the first time. He lives at the foul line for Syracuse.
And it's tough to crowd him because he is a person that does a great job drawing fouls. And, Doug, that's one thing you have to do. Try to keep him off the free throw line. He's one of the best in college basketball in terms of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
Averaging 19 points, nearly 4 assists, 2.5 steals per game. Chance for his first point off the bench tonight. Well, here's Saturday's basketball tripleheader. Number 21 Clemson hosts Boston College at Littlejohn to start us off at 3 Eastern. Then 11th-ranked Duke hosts Georgia Tech at Cameron Indoor. And finally, Miami and Virginia Tech square off in Blacksburg. Should be a great afternoon and evening of hoops on the ACC network. Maliq Brown. He is now 2 for 21 on the year from three-point land. Benny Williams spins into the lane and gets hacked. And he will head to the line to foul against Maliq Brown.
And that's a tough position right there for Maliq Brown. Again, Quentin Post trying to establish position in the post there, and Maliq Brown elects to shoot a jump shot. And you're right, you look at the percentages, probably maybe try to enter that one into the post. And again, I think that's the issue right now early on for Boston College. Settling for contested jumpers or deep threes.
And not that you were ever left alone because you shot it well enough, but I always think it's got to be really hard to turn down the open shot when clearly the defense is not respecting you. But you have to do other things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in that situation right there, again, he clearly had an advantage that time in the post. Again, if it's off of a dribble drive in transition or in half court and you're wide open, that's one thing. But your first look, probably not what you want to do.
Boston College with another extended drought. It's been 3.5 minutes since scoring. They fell behind early 8-0. Harris with an air ball. Cuff had a hand on it. And it goes out of bounds to Boston College. Earl Grant's team on the road looking to stay perfect away from Chestnut Hill this season. Hit what I would consider the most memorable shot in program history to beat your Boston College Eagles.
I tell you what, it never gets old. Certainly a heartbreaker for Boston College. What a great video, and that never gets old right there. And Pearl, one of the all-time greats. Love watching him operate, and so many great memories and so many great battles in this building between these two programs.
Right.
And that probably right there is one of the most memorable ones right there, that half-court shot by DePearl.
And the thing that I think is most interesting about it after the fact is when you watch that the next time, pay attention to Pearl. He never broke stride. He just ran right into the locker room, and as this place erupted, he just went in and called his mom.
As many times as I've seen that, as you take a look at Boston College breaking down the zone, Syracuse went zone that time. I never knew that. I never really watched the end. I just... eyes were always focused on the shot and then the crowd coming in afterwards. So I'm certainly going to have to take a closer look next time I see that, as Pearl running straight to the locker room. That's a great story.
Here's Judah Mintz looking for his first field goal, coming off the bench for unknown reasons. He sat the first 9:21 of tonight's game. I imagine we will get some answers after the game from Coach Autry. Maliq Bey couldn't save it, but it is Boston College basketball.
Well, their last bucket, Boston College, has it. I think that call was overturned. And now it's saying it's going to be Syracuse ball. But Boston College's last bucket against the zone was in the paint. I think that's going to be the area they have to continue to focus on. Right now, the 1 of 12 from the three-point line, Boston College, 8%.
Copeland and Brown back in along with Bell, who started off the game so hot. Chris Bell with 7 points to lead all scorers. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Benny Williams from the head of the key. Another deflection for number 1 in white.
Boston College right now, again, you just have to know they're trying to deflect or trying to get their hands on any pass or any time you dribble. Set up some ball fakes. Try to get some backdoor cuts.
Every Thursday, we'll have a women's basketball doubleheader for you right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. This week, Kiki Jefferson and number 15 Louisville are in Pittsburgh to take on the Panthers. Then at 8 o'clock, Elizabeth Kitley and 11th-ranked Virginia Tech hosting Miami in Blacksburg. We are in Syracuse, New York with Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Doug Sherman. Boston College playing from behind. Another deflection, this time by Mintz. Here come the Orange again. Benny Williams on the run. Had it poked away. Harris to the streaking Zachary. Benny Williams pinned it against the glass. Bell for 3. And pulls it down for Boston College. You can see the Orange have cooled off after making their first 2 threes of the night. Benny Williams, another block shot.
Doug, I know Red Autry and staff don't track deflections and blocks, but I'd have to say, in this first half, they're probably nearing the 20 number in terms of deflections. It seems like every time Boston College has tried to reverse the ball, dribble, make a post-entry pass, a Syracuse player has gotten their hand on it. And again, I go back to my playing days. Anytime you're playing against an aggressive defense like that, ball fakes, set hard screens, and you got to get some backdoor cuts because they're just trying to shoot the gap and get their hands on any pass that Boston College is trying to make right now.
Benny Williams takes a seat. Justin Taylor back in. Bell with a clean look. When he sets his feet, it's a pretty good bet that shot's going in.
We've got a couple of NBA scouts in the building tonight, and we were talking to them prior to this game, and Bell's name came up. Certainly, he's a guy that's very athletic and one of the better shooters. Certainly, he's got it going early on in this game.
Meanwhile, the other headline, Malcolm, of this game is that Quinton Post is still scoreless. What's going on there? Is it something BC's not doing, or what is Syracuse doing defensively?
A couple of things, the deflections, and then anytime they're trying to pass the ball, again, you take a look, another deflection. They're just having issues trying to enter the ball into the post to him or just make a simple reversal. Well, they're doing a good job of being disruptive to the Boston College offense. It's as simple as that.
Under 10 to shoot. Mintz pulls the trigger. Judah Mintz with his first bucket. And the sophomore from Fort Washington, Maryland, makes it a 14-point Orange lead.
Well, the offense is clicking, but Red Autry has to be pleased with how his team has defended thus far in this first half. That's really, I think, what's spurred their offense. Their defensive pressure that they're putting on Boston College really has put them in a situation where they're getting some high percentage shots in transition or off of turnovers.
6-0 Syracuse run to take their largest lead of the night. Zachary lost it on the inbound. Brown's pass, a dangerous one, comes to Copeland. Dancing his way to the bucket for 2 more. That is a young man who is an entertainer coming into his own as a sophomore from Southwest Philadelphia.
And that's Syracuse's 13th point off of turnovers.
Another turnover forced. It's an offensive foul against Post. Judah Mintz gives to Copeland. Talking to him yesterday, he specifically says he's from Southwest Philadelphia. He's not from Philadelphia, he's from Southwest. And he says his flashy style of play stems from the neighborhood he represents. And he grew up going every day to King Sessing Park, countless hours playing ball. It was a 10-minute walk for him. He and his friends didn't have phones. They just knew everybody was going to be there every day. So Maliq Harris was his best friend. They spent endless hours just playing ball.
That's old school right there. I love that they didn't have the phones. That's a great thing, and guys just out there playing ball, and you can tell early on that flair, in particular with his passing, really has been impressive in this first half.
And again, the game changes for Syracuse for the better when Copeland and Brown are in there.
Well, look at this right here. He's made a couple of passes like this where he's made his guys and put them in opportunities where all they have to do is go up and try to catch and finish. He's played a great game thus far in the first half for Syracuse.
12 Boston College turnovers. Copeland, by the way, says he wears uniform number 24 to honor his best friend, Maliq Harris. He says he's like his little brother, who was diagnosed with a rare heart condition, ending his playing days back in high school. Cue wears number 24 because that was Nair's number. Nair's able to come up and see his buddy play here in the Dome frequently, but he just can't play ball anymore.
That's a great story. Certainly a great way to honor that young man. But right now, Earl Grant talking with the refs, I think the biggest adjustment they're going to have to make, again, sound like a broken record, but they got to do a better job taking care of the ball. It's as simple as that. That was a key for them coming into this game. Right now, you have 12 turnovers, which have led to 13 points for Syracuse. It's got to be better with the ball.
Another steal and another run out for Bell. A dozen points for the California kid. Nothing going right for Boston College as the Orange defense just continues to produce points. Chris Bell with a dozen to lead SU. Welcome back to Syracuse with Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Doug Sherman, and the Orange defense has been the story so far with under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. SU repeatedly with the takeaways, the deflections, and how about this play right here, Malcolm?
Well, right here, Boston College, again, they have to do a better job identifying. Right here, freeze it. You can tell he's already, Bell, looking to shoot the gap. This is a hard cut up to the top of the key and then backdoor. If the other guy on the bottom side helps, you have to skip to Matson, but you have to do a better job ball faking if you're Boston College. That's the only way to loosen up this defense of Syracuse that's being very aggressive in the passing lanes.
The last 5 games for Chris Bell coming in, he was averaging under 4 points per game. He's got a dozen to lead all scorers. BC coming out of the break with a good look, but the red-hot Devin McGlockton missed. No BC player has made more than 1 shot so far tonight. Claudell Copeland is fouled by Claudell Harris. As you can see, it's an 11-0 run. Put that together with the 8-0 start, and the Orange is led right from the start.
Well, they dominated this game, and it starts with their defense again. They're just active in the passing lane. They've been disrupted. Boston College has not been able to run one set, and then they're just getting turnovers and getting out in transition, getting high percentage shots.
Bell has it blocked. Good energy there. But then the foul on the floor after the play by Mason Madsen. Well, Earl Grant told us earlier today that the #1 key for BC tonight was to shrink the court. So, A, what does that mean? And B, why hasn't that worked so far tonight?
So shrinking the court, basically, first, foremost, they got to stop turning the ball over. So they're out in transition. Hard to shrink the court when you're 2-on-1 at a disadvantage because you're turning the ball over. And then in the half court, the guards, in particular Mintz, you want to shrink the court, keep him out of the paint, and show bodies in front of him. And that has not happened at all in this first half. That has got to change for Boston College.
Mintz coming off the bench tonight for the first time this season for unknown reasons. Claudell Harris buries the three. He's got 5 points.
He's the one guy, Syracuse, again, we highlighted him 4 for 4 in his last game against Georgia Tech, where he had 26 points, shooting 45% from the three-point line. You can't give him airspace if you're Syracuse.
Elijah Strong grabs the Chris Bell miss. Trying to establish McGlockton, big size advantage, left it short. Copeland snares the rebound. Mintz, what a bounce pass. The foul came on what looked like a pass, not a shot, but how about the look from Mintz?
And that's the area and the feedback that Judah Mintz got from the NBA scouts. Again, can he play like a true point guard? Again, you know he can score. He's a guy that can score, but his passing ability, I think that's the area they wanted to see improvement.
So Quentin Post comes back in for BC. He is still scoreless, which is really remarkable, averaging 18 points per game. The only player in the country last year who put up 50, 40, and 80 as a shooting line, 54% shooting from the floor. Well, we are super excited about gymnastics on ACC Network. Friday and Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It's all part of 3 quad meets. We're featuring the first one here Friday with North Carolina, Arizona, Boise State, and Nebraska. The teams will be competing in 4 skills: bars, beam, vault, and floor. And so with Post, he's doing it again this year. He's averaging better than 50% from the floor, 40% from 3, and better than 80% from the line. BC now starting to cook a little bit. It's Claudell Harris with consecutive baskets.
And that's the area, again, continue to attack the paint. Don't settle for jumpers. Unless it comes off dribble drive and a kick and it's an open one, that's fine. Claudell Harris doing a great job picking up right where he's left off. Beautiful mid-range game, and that's set up because he shoots the ball so well from the perimeter. You have to respect his jumper.
Mintz thought about it. Here's J.J. Starling back into the game. Kyle Cuff also back off the Syracuse bench. Got to the basket, just couldn't finish. And one on second effort, the Orange with 2 more. Harris uses the screen. Look out. He can put points up in a hurry.
Again, he is one of the higher scoring guards in the ACC. Mid-range pull-up game. That's a big-time rejection of the screen right there and pull-up for 3 by Claudell Harris. Much-needed bucket for Boston College.
Benny Williams off the front rim. And that rim, by the way, caught the attention of Earl Grant when BC walked into the building for the first time this afternoon for shoot-around. He walked right to it. Apparently does that every building they come into. He looks at both rims to see if they truly are 10 feet. And he loved the rim to our right because he said there's a paint chip off the front, and he said that's a better visual. That's what I'm shooting for. How about that detail that a coach is thinking about 5 hours before the game?
That's pretty impressive right there. And I've never heard that one before, but right now they have. It's been a struggle for them to find points. But again, this last 3-minute stretch, they've been getting better looks. And this is what you want if you're Earl Grant. Try to close the half out on a positive note going in and then try to regroup.
Williams to Starling. Taylor turns down the three. Cuff puts it up. Been a quiet night so far for Jaden Zachary, averaging over 12 points per game. He had a rough trip a year ago into the Dome. He sets up Madsen. I wonder about that, Malcolm, on what could be the final possession of the half. Does that carry over from year to year when you have either a good game or a bad game in the building?
No, probably not. Again, so many, but Red Autry right now happy with how his team has performed defensively. 20 seconds left in this first half. Let's see what he draws up.
At Boar's Head, we live for delicious.
For Boston College, in this first half, Claudell Harris has started to heat up. 10 points, most of them in the last 5 minutes. Pull-up three. We talked about his mid-range game, and right here, again, this is what makes him a difficult matchup. They're going to need more of that, though, in this game. But Claudell Harris, again, he has been the lone bright spot for Boston College in this first half.
Yeah, he's cut what was a 19-point deficit back to 13. Syracuse trying to hold for a final shot. Ball into the hands of Judah Mintz. Has it knocked away. BC with it. 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds. Here comes Madsen. Lets the defender go by. And a huge close to the first half for the Boston College Eagles.
Well, if you're Earl Grant, although you're going to go in this half, in the second half, and certainly for Boston College, I'm sure the discussion was around taking better care of the ball to start this second half off.
Another deflection by Brown. Post continues to be stymied. Quadir Copeland on the bench after starting the game with Mintz in the lineup. And again, the first time this season, Syracuse has not started the same five because Naheem McLeod is also out with a foot injury. Bell wide open. Long rebound tracked down by Prince Aligbe, the sophomore from Minneapolis who dribbles up for BC. Post trying to carve out space inside. He and Brown battling as Harris is now cut off into post. Can't get the roll. Taylor tracks down the rebound. And had it taken away by Jaden Zachary. Zachary to the rim. And Aligbe missed it. Bell lobs to the rim. Brown has to come down with it and lays it in.
That's a missed opportunity for Boston College. Again, looked like Aligbe was going to get a wide open alley-oop off the steal from Zachary, but a missed layup leads to a transition of opportunity for Syracuse.
McGlockton passed out of bounds. It's another Boston College turnover. Well, apparently the foot injury that is plaguing McLeod right now has been coming for a while. There was not a particular injury or moment in time. And so he's going to see a foot specialist in the coming days to determine the extent of the injury. So they really don't seem to have any idea whether he'll be out a short span or for a long time.
Well, a couple things. Obviously, the depth, that's an issue, how long he's out. And then obviously, hard to replace his size. In particular, again, some of these bigger front courts in the ACC, they're certainly going to need him. But this guy right here has been impressive. Chris Bell has been very good, and I think the key thing is he hit that first shot to start the game off, and his energy and also confidence has not wavered from there.
Well, we saw him get on a heater against Colgate for a career-high 25 points when Syracuse came back from 24 down, the biggest comeback win in program history. Devin McGlockton with his second field goal.
Well, if I'm Earl Grant, I'm going back to that same formula. Whether it becomes from a high-low like that last play or swing the ball to the wing, get paint touches. I think that's the key for Boston College.
Mintz right to the rim. Had it blocked. McGlockton comes up with it for BC. Post. He's a very good three-point shooter, nearly 50% on the year. McGlockton pulls down the miss. To shoot. Claudell Harris uses the screen. Pulls the trigger. Maliq with another offensive rebound. Mintz poked it out of bounds. The Eagles will keep it.
It's just been really, I have not seen anything like this. And I've seen other teams aggressive in the passing lanes. But it feels like Syracuse is getting their hands on pretty much every possession, a pass, a dribble.
Now into his zone on the baseline out of bounds. The Eagles get an open look for Zachary. He's still scoreless. Tell you what, Devin McGlockton has been playing real good basketball of late against ACC opponents, Malcolm. 19 points a game, nearly 8 rebounds a game, and making 72% of his shots.
And I like how he's attacking the offensive glass, creating extra opportunities. That's just great hustle work by McGlockton. Coming off a career-high 30 points last time out in his homecoming game in Atlanta against the Yellow Jackets. Taylor hangs in the air, banks it in. Against one of the best shot blockers in the ACC, Taylor able to finish. That's great body control, you're right. Post has it poked away again by Maliq Brown. Taylor rises up. That's a missed opportunity on that previous possession for Boston College. Quentin Post has to know they're trying to poke the ball away. You got to chin that if you're a big. Get that ball into your body. Don't get it away from your body and allow them to poke it away. Bell blocks the shot. It goes out of bounds. BC will keep it and have it when we come back. The Orange have built the lead back to 13 with a quick start here in the second half.
NBA Wednesday on ABC.
Added up shooting threes and I slam on them.
A new night every Wednesday in January. The league's biggest teams, the game's brightest stars.
We hold the rock, I got 2 hands on it. Half court, we shooting shots like we wide open. Woo!
NBA Wednesday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
The competition's never been better.
Have you never let a woman do that?
The stars have never been brighter.
Caitlin Torres, 3,000 career points.
Come on, Cameron Brink.
Deja Kelly.
Oh, that was pretty.
Amor magic.
Something brewing tonight. There's no stopping us now.
This is just spectacular.
That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
PGA Tour live on ESPN+. From the Pacific to the playoffs, every tournament starts on ESPN+. Stream your own way with 4 unique feeds. PGA Tour live on ESPN+.
The competition's never been better.
This is just spectacular.
The stars have never been brighter. That's our move. Women's college hoops on ESPN and ABC.
Ready for the NFL playoffs?
I was born ready.
Dramatic entrances? Check. Team of destiny?
Check.
Nightmare matchups? Check. All the heart-pumping playoff action of your dreams? Check, please.
You arm your company with the most powerful server hardware you can, but now you can achieve 125 times faster processing and use up to 50% less energy. Cove SDM, the first software-defined memory solution. Achieve more at cove.com.
The last time Boston College came into the Dome and got a victory was 10 years ago when Syracuse was ranked #1 in the country, then undefeated. And the Eagles in overtime took down the Orange 66-60 to take down SU for the first time. And that illustrates, as does their 4 come-from-behind wins this year from double digits down, you don't count out the Boston College Eagles.
Well, in particular, anytime these two teams get together, but right now, in this one right now, if Boston College is going to win this game on the road, Quentin Post, their star player, they're going to have to get him better opportunities to catch the ball in the post where he can do some damage. But right now, 0 points and a key number, 6 turnovers in this game for Quentin Post.
Well, Syracuse leads the ACC in steals at 9 per game. Maliq gets to the basket. The Orange already have 14 steals, and Post 6 turnovers. So he's got more turnovers than shot attempts tonight. J.J. Starling has been quiet on the offensive end. Those are the first 2 points from the sophomore from nearby Baldwinsville, New York. McGlockton on Taylor. Got him off his feet. You've seen a lot of Devin McGlockton this year, the last couple of years. What is his greatest strength, Malcolm?
Well, I think that right there, he's got versatility. He's shooting the ball well from the three-point line, but then that time they identified a smaller defender, a matchup they wanted. They just iced him on the wing, put him down low on the block, and then let him go to work. But the consistency, really, I think that's been the biggest thing for Earl Grant and staff. He's been very consistent, and he went off in their last outing, 30 points, as you said, on the road against Georgia Tech.
Well, you know, Devin McGlockton could have played Division I football. He was offered as a tight end by UMass, by Kent State, by Grambling. He was first-team All-State in Georgia. And he's also the nephew of Chester McGlockton, former first-round pick out of Clemson. There is Judah Mintz getting to the line once again. He has a knack for it. He seeks it out. And he is a good free throw shooter, taking advantage of it to lead back to 13.
That's something the coaching staff of Boston College talked about. They must keep him off the free throw line.
Claudell Harris off the bounce, tried to use the window. Maliq. He's got a physical presence inside. He'll head to the free throw line. Maliq, 6'7", 225, a sophomore out of Minnehaha Academy, where I know it's been talked about before. He's a very mature player beyond his years. But he was a high school teammate of Chet Holmgren and Jalen Suggs, a couple of top 5 picks in the NBA draft.
I feel bad for those teams that were playing against that group right there.
Percy Miller, also on that team, the Louisville reserve guard. How about that for a group on a high school team?
Well, the one area in this game, Doug, Boston College has had an advantage on the offensive glass. Right now, they have 9 offensive rebounds to 1 to Syracuse. They've done a nice job on the misses in the second half, in particular, to start off early, getting some second chance opportunities.
Maliq at the end of shoot-around this afternoon. He's the one who hit the half-court shot to end it. Any carryover ever when somebody hits a half-court shot to end the game day practice? I
think me and you need to start doing that now. Have a little announcers, half-court shot, see if we get out of here.
We might be here for a while.
That could be. Let me scratch that.
Bell no, Maliq with another rebound. BC down by 11, 6 minutes gone in the second half. Harris steps into the three. Boy, that's a pretty stroke, even with a hand in his face.
And a quick release. And that right there, the communication for Syracuse, if you're the big or wing, you have to be up there on that little handoff. Claudell Harris, again, shooting 45% from the three-point line, and he's got a quick release.
Well, he joined the 1,000-point club against Lehigh last month when he scored 29. Of course, most of that 1,000 as Taylor gets the easy layup. Post comes away hobbling and calls to the bench saying he's got to come out.
That's certainly not something you want to see if you're Earl Grant in Boston College. On that previous play, though, that play by Judah Mintz, simple as it is. Again, last year, he would have tried to shoot that shot himself, gave it up for a better look for his teammate. Again, the decision-making for Judah Mintz. I think that's the key to his game.
Another Syracuse steal. This is Taylor taking on McGlockton, who blocked it. Claudell Copeland into the game, comes up with the basketball. Trying to find Brown on the mismatch, and he's fouled by Zachary, who was given up 4 or 5 inches in that matchup.
And that's great recognition by Syracuse. Again, they realized they had a matchup that was favorable, spaced the floor out, and then just let him try to post up in the paint.
Chaz Kelly comes in for the first time here in the second half for BC. It was a non-shooting foul, and so the inbound comes from Judah Mintz. Taylor off the curl, rising up. Badly missed it. It's another rebound for Prince Aligbe. Harris couldn't make it 2 in a row from the same spot. Long rebound comes to Kelly. Harris will try again. He's got it. 16 points for the junior from Honville, Louisiana.
Close out that first half. He was the one bright spot again for Boston College, and he continues his hot shooting.
Brown is fouled and will head to the line. Personal against Armani Mighty, who is in for the injured Quentin Post. And there is Post on the end in the second row of the Boston College bench. I asked Red Autry, who in Syracuse history does Maliq Brown remind him of? And he said C.J. Fair. And the way he goes about his business, kind of unassuming, but just affects winning in a positive way.
And I think a key thing in this game, he's had a couple of blocks where he could have easily tried to punch it out of bounds. Similar to a guy that used to play, rest his soul, Conrad McRae. But he's kept the ball in play, and I like that, where he's kept possession and started some fast breaks. Again, his defense in this game, in particular on post, has been huge.
Mighty. Travel. Maliq Brown just seemed to wait for the turnover to come. Defending, holding his ground, and it's another forced turnover by Maliq Brown in the orange. Syracuse 47, Boston College 38. Orange sophomore Maliq Brown continues to be a force defensively.
His defense has been huge in this game. Quentin Post still has yet to score in this game. 0.6 turnovers. And that last play right there, Doug, pretty much sums up his defensive presence in this game for Syracuse. 9 points, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. He has been active for Syracuse.
Brown is 6'8", a 222-pound sophomore from Culpeper, Virginia. He has really been a revelation here as a second year at SU. Judah Mintz attacks. Didn't get the call. He goes to the floor, and here comes BC with an advantage, 5-on-4. Madsen takes advantage and has a big smile for the Boston College bench.
And that's what you want to do. Be opportunistic in your transition game. That time, imbalance. Judah Mintz not in the mix. Beautiful find that time in transition by Chaz Kelly.
Malcolm, this is the closest it's been since 6-0. Claudell Copeland. Tough shot. How did he get that up and over the defender? It looked like Armani Mighty was going to block that into the second row.
And that's great body control. I'm not sure he even saw the rim on that one. Still able to finish high off the glass. That's another great block out that time by Brown. Off the long three.
Wraparound pass. Brown goes to work again. Benny Williams is into the game for Syracuse. It goes out of bounds. And BC the last to touch. Now Post will come back in. You got word from the BC SID about what happened with the injury.
Yeah, they had to retape his ankle, and certainly want to take a look at that. Looked like he tweaked it a little bit, so they retaped his ankle, and certainly they're going to need him to finish this game out.
Williams mishandled the pass, thinking about a dunk. Kyle Cuff missed the three. Chaz Kelly at the point for Boston College. Kelly keeps the dribble, gets to the basket. I like his floor game.
And that's twice now. Quentin Post heads-up play. Again, he wasn't getting the post, but he cleared the path for Chaz Kelly. And again, Boston College within 6.
Copeland with Post now on the switch. Now he's going to attack. And he missed the layup. Out of bounds. Boston College basketball. Here's Saturday's basketball tripleheader. Number 21 Clemson hosts these Boston College Eagles at Little John to start us off at 3 Eastern. Then number 11 Duke will host Georgia Tech at Cameron. And finally Miami and Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. Should be a terrific afternoon and evening of hoops here on the ACC Network. Here goes Kelly. Able to get to the basket again. Boston College within 4.
And that's 2 beautiful drives by Chaz Kelly. Under control, through traffic. And just like that, Boston College within 4.
The Eagles, once down big, right back in it. It's hard to believe this Boston College offense is the same one we saw score only 9 points in the first 16 minutes of the game. They got it rolling now.
And I think a lot of it, second chance opportunities in the second half. Claudell Harris continues to be shooting the ball well, but I think Chaz Kelly, he has played really well in the second half for Earl Grant right here, capped off by another dribble drive and finish through traffic. And again, back to my point, Boston College in the second half, 9 second chance points alone. They've done a good job on the offensive glass.
Well, Chaz Kelly, CK3, Chaz Kelly III, really was BC's best player on their trip in August to Italy. So he has shown it in flashes, and we are seeing it in a flash here in the second half. Coming out of the timeout, Syracuse has Mintz get fouled by Post. His third, and the 5th against Boston College, so a non-shooting foul. Starling, Mintz, Copeland, Williams, and Brown, the 5 out there for BC. Madsen, Kelly, Post, Aligbe, and Donald Hand Jr., the 5 out there for Boston College here in crunch time.
The key thing, ball screen coverage for Boston College, in particular with Judah Mintz. Again, we talked about his ability to get to the free throw line. You have to keep him off the line, but also trying to keep him out of the paint. I think that's going to be key to close this game out for Boston College.
4 of BC's 10 wins this year have been games where they have trailed by double figures. They were down by 19 in the first half. This is the closest they've been since 4-0. And Quentin Post has just picked up his 4th personal foul.
Well, if you would have told Earl Grant that you're only going to be down 4 on the road and your best player, Quentin Post, has 0 points in this game, probably wouldn't believe it, but that's what's going on right now. Not his best night. Credit Syracuse's defense, in particular Brown, but Boston College, again, still doing a great job hanging around in this game.
And so the sophomore from Toronto, Mighty, comes in. Second opportunity for Syracuse. Another offensive rebound. Mintz had it knocked away, and Syracuse was the last to touch. It's Boston College ball.
50-50 ball right here again. Boston College, 3 people around Mintz. Now, again, couldn't tell from that angle right there, but that's a big break for Boston College.
Madsen. What a great set for BC. The Eagles are within 1.
Madsen and also Claudell Harris. If you're not there on the catch, forget about it. They both have quick releases, and just like that, it's a 1-point game.
Copeland. Williams double teamed, has it knocked away. Boston College ball. The Eagles get it with a chance to take their first lead of the night.
Well, the quick release right here. Madsen off the pin down. Too late. Boston College within 1.
PGA Tour live on ESPN.
Doug, right now, Boston College trailing by 1, but so much goes into the scouting report. Right here, J.J. Starling, he needs to know the scouting report. Mason Madsen shooting 45%. You need to be locked in, locking and trailing. That time, you lose track of him, and he comes off a pin down clean and makes you pay. 1-point game, and again, that cannot happen. Madsen and also Claudell Harris, both those guys shoot 45% from the three-point line.
Maliq Brown, guarded by Williams. For the lead, the Eagles have it for the first time this evening.
And that spacing set up by Madsen. Again, you can't double off him on that side. And that's great recognition, just isolating Maliq Brown that time on the block. Beautiful spin move back to his left hand.
Cuff tries to convert to the left hand, can't do it. Kelly, Maliq Brown, and it's a tie-up. On the held ball, it'll be Syracuse possession.
That's pretty good transition defense that time. Maliq Brown trying to push the pace again.
Suff goes out, Bell back in. Remember, he had the hot hand for Syracuse with 12 in the first half, only 3 so far here in the second. The BC defense is not allowed a point in 4.5 minutes. 5 to shoot. Bell puts it up and in.
And the Boston College bench was yelling to Prince Maliq Brown, hand up. We can hear him from over here. That's a breakdown again. Both teams need to understand the scouting report. Cannot have your hand down against Bell.
Syracuse basketball. McGlockton in. Mighty will take a seat. Benny Williams out. Taylor back on for the Orange.
Right now, Claudell Harris, Jaden Zachary, and also Quentin Post on the bench for Boston College.
Copeland. Brown! Maliq Brown now into double figures. The Orange lead is back to 4. Madsen with a terrific find inside from McGlockton. He's got double figures for BC.
And that's all set up. Madsen hits a 3. Now they chase him. He brings 2 defenders with a nice little slip pass.
Copeland was fouled on his way to the basket. Seventh team foul against Boston College. Syracuse has been called for just one foul here in the second half. Claudell Copeland at 73% on the year. Can't get the roll on the first. Tomorrow night at 10 Eastern, after our women's basketball doubleheader, the Nothing But Net crew will break down the night in the ACC with highlights and analysis of every women's game and look ahead at the best matchups on the schedule in the coming week. That's coverage you can only find in one place right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app.
Well, Doug, now the question becomes, how long does Earl Grant go with Harris, Zachary, and also Post on the bench?
And having trouble keeping the ball. Able to get to the basket. McGlockton. He'll have a chance for three. Devin McGlockton, the redshirt sophomore from Cumming, Georgia, coming off his career-high 30-point performance, playing big here down the stretch tonight.
He's got a double-double. 10 points, 11 boards, and none bigger than that one right there. Another offensive rebound and putback. He has been relentless on the glass tonight for Boston College.
For the tie. Under 5 minutes left in regulation. It's been a decade since Boston College came into the Dome and beat the Orange. That was in overtime. Maliq Brown off the pretty feed from Claudell Copeland. Last 4 games coming in, Maliq has been averaging 17.7 rebounds. A big performance again here tonight.
He has been huge. Nothing bigger than, though, his defense in this game tonight for Syracuse.
Madsen got a good look. Just couldn't bury it. Judah Mintz. And the whistle comes. A foul against Kelly. BC's only been to the line for 3 attempts so far tonight. Meanwhile, Judah Mintz going back to the line. And again, keep in mind, he did not play the first 9 minutes and 21 seconds of this game for unknown reasons. But he has played starters minutes since. Also, Benny Williams has just returned from the Syracuse locker room and will rejoin his teammates on the bench. The 78% foul shooter rattles one home. It is indeed clutch time. Hard to be better than 100% for Maliq Brown. And Judah Mintz at 69% in the final 5 minutes. Try to make it 2 out of 2 here tonight. He does, and the lead is back to 4. McGlockton with a great feed. Nice catch and finish by Aligbe.
Threading the needle. That pass, zero room, a margin for error. It was a perfect pass. Catch and finish. That's beautiful offensive set by Boston College.
The Eagles have made 7 of their last 9 shot attempts. Copeland dumps it off. There's that combo again. Sophomore to sophomore. Give Maliq Brown 15 points.
And Brown, that's just too easy if you're Boston College. Credit Syracuse, but if you're Boston College, try to force Syracuse to shoot outside the arc. Don't give Brown uncontested dunks.
Hand in the paint. Cleaning it up once again is Devin McGlockton.
I would say the same for Syracuse. Again, you got to put a body on McGlockton. Again, he is just crashing the offensive glass every time. Cannot give him that much space.
Copeland to Brown again. We've got a whistle and a foul underneath that will send Brown to the free throw line when we come back.
Well, Maliq Brown continues to get dunked, but this right here, pinpoint passing by Boston College. And then on the other end, beautiful find by Copeland, another dunk. We got ourselves a ball game.
When you get your next big idea,
This game for Syracuse Look at his stat line, 15 points, 6 boards, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. But for me, Doug, it's been his defense, in particular on Quentin Post, one of the better bigs, not just in the ACC, but in college basketball. He has dominated both ends. Quentin Post has yet to score in this game, and Maliq Brown has dominated the paint area for Syracuse. It's been an impressive performance on both ends.
And you got a sense there why he is a 72% career shooter from the floor. Highly efficient. Doesn't seem to stray from what his strengths are.
And I think that's a key thing right there. Know who you are, and his strength really has been his defense and activity. As you take a look, Boston College now gets back in their big three. Claudell Harris, Quentin Post, and also Jaden Zachary. But
well, after his career-high 26 last time out against Duke, that's 17 points for Brown, the lead back to 4. Post and Zachary back on the floor for the Eagles. Backdoor pass. Harris tries to come down with it, couldn't do it. The dish from Post was a little too tall.
And it was. It's all set up, though, by great defense again. Not getting beat on the back door. They broke that play up. Another turnover for Boston College.
21. Hard to win a game when you turn it over like that. Well, but BC's right there. Brown gives it back to Mintz. 5 to shoot. On the switch, he's got Post defending. Mintz guts it up, and he is fouled. So a perfect possession if you're Syracuse. You use 29.6 seconds on the shot clock.
And this is all set up. Judah Mintz so shifty. And really no need. Again, his hands on his arm right there, Quentin Post. You're a 7-footer. Just use your length. And we talked with the coaching staff of Boston College. One of the things they were concerned about, Judah Mintz's ability to draw fouls. You just can't bail him out in a situation like that. Shot clock winding down. Force him into a difficult runner over length.
And so the 5th leading scorer in the ACC, Quentin Post, has fouled out, having been held scoreless on only 4 shot attempts. Just remarkable.
Well, the only good news for Earl Grant is that you're still within striking distance of this game when your star player has really not performed.
McGlockton, the dribble handoff, and a foul as Copeland tried to break it up. Just the 3rd team foul against Syracuse in the second half.
And Doug, right now, Syracuse, the communication needs to be on point with the bigs and wings. Boston College, they run a lot of actions for their guards coming off dribble handoffs or pin downs. You must either hedge hard or have communication where guys are not coming off for clean looks.
League Bay's had a big second half. Not that time. Taylor, good defense and the rebound. Now Copeland dribbling again. 1:38 left in regulation. His mom, Pamela Parsons, is #1 fan watching home in Southwest Philly. Here goes Cuse behind his back, lost it. It went right to Brown, had it blocked. Shot clock at 1. Bell, does he beat the buzzer?
It looks like they're going to take a look at this. Doug, from first look, I think he may have gotten that one off, but looks like the refs are going to take a look right here again. Boston College almost comes up with the steal. Let's see if it's still in his hands. Again, can't see the buzzer from that angle right there.
Now we'll take a look with the clock embedded.
Yeah, he definitely got that off in time, and that's a big break for Syracuse. Looked like Boston College was going to come up with the stop, and instead, and now Syracuse pushes the lead to 8. 1:19 to go, and certainly do not need a 3 right now if you're Boston College. Comes off dribble, drive, and kick, that's fine. But minute 19, still some time, but you got to get into your offense quick.
6 straight points for Syracuse over the last minute 45. Kelly turns the corner, hangs in the air, swatted away by Brown. Out to McGlockton, in and out, and Brown clears another rebound.
You got to think about trapping right now. If you're Boston College, you don't want to just let Syracuse run clock. See if you can try to get the ball out of this guy's hands.
Now Mintz penetrates, goes to the left hand. McGlockton pulls it down for BC. The Eagles have led just for a moment tonight. Harris, no. Long rebound, secured by Syracuse. Well, perhaps falling behind by 19 was just too much for the Eagles. They came all the way back to lead it briefly, 50-49 with 7 to go. But it looks like the Orange are going to hang on with a good counterpunch down the stretch.
Doug, the story of this game for Syracuse, 26 points off turnovers. And that's pretty much the ball game. Syracuse set the tone with their defense in this game, and really tough to overcome that on the road if you're Boston College. Red Autry has to be pleased with how his team performed, in particular, though, Maliq Brown. His job, what he's done on Quentin Post, one of the best bigs in college basketball, holding him scoreless in this game.
There's your exclamation point. Brown the steal and the slam. He's got 19 points, and we talked at the top what a big game this was for both of the teams. Both 10-4, both 1-2 in league play, and it's the Orange that prevails. 69-59 your final.
Well, impressive win by Syracuse.